guys, so we're in a bit of a different location today, basically because the light is fading and I can't keep up with it and my room gets really dark quickly, but in this room it's the back of the house, so the light is better. Today I'm going to be talking about my favourite books and films of 2014. I've also had a hard time trying to remember what I read last year because I didn't keep a count of it on Goodreads or anything, so it was quite difficult trying to remember what I actually read, but yes. I'm going to start off with film. The reason I'm talking about films as well is because you guys know I love my film. These aren't in any particular order, by the way, these are just films and books that I've loved. The first film that I want to mention is Gone Girl. This is also a book that I want to mention. Just collectively amazing. I saw the film before I read the book. I liked watching the film knowing or not knowing what was going to happen. I thought the film was just so fantastically done. I like watching David Fincher anyway. I think he's a great director, and I was so excited to see it at the pictures. I just can't stop thinking about it. Every time anybody ever mentions Gone Girl, I just think of the film and the way it made me feel and the creepy just tone of the whole film, and it was just fantastic. I loved it so much. And then I read the book, and the book itself was brilliant too. The way it was written was really well done. It was written in two different styles, in a diary style and a normal style. I'm not going to go too much into what it's about because I'm sure you guys know. It's a bit of a crime mystery thriller, but it's so much more than that. I was just thinking it was going to be a crime book, but it was so good. I loved it to pieces. Everybody in the film did spectacularly well. Rosamund Pike was amazing as Amy. So for people that have read the book or seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Her character was amazing. Just the way she just totally embodied the role. It was brilliant. It's probably one of those films that it was so good, but I probably don't ever want to see it again because it just made me feel so unnerved. It was awesome, so I definitely recommend it. It's probably my most loved book of this year. I just loved it. Another film I want to mention is Her, and this was directed by, I never know how to say his name. Is it Spike? I want to say Jonze. I know it's not because I'm sure that the J is silent. It's probably like Spike Hawes or something, but I'm gonna say it's Spike Jonze, even though that's completely 100% wrong. I was so excited for this film. It seemed like it took forever to come out. I saw the trailer in 2013 and I was waiting ages to see it, and it wasn't until February, I don't think, last year that it came out. And me and my friends went to see it and it was so good. I loved it to pieces. For any of you who don't know what it is, it's basically a story about it's set in kind of the near future. Not much has changed apart from the fact that we all have AIs kind of running things now. Not running things, but you know, they're a lot more present in society than they are now. It's a story of a man called Theodore who downloads this AI and he starts to fall in love with her. And it's such a good relationship. The relationship between Theodore and Samantha, the AI, is so fantastically done, and the cinematography is beautiful, by the way, love it. Music is gorgeous. The only thing that I didn't particularly like as much was the ending. I don't think I like the ending as much as the first like 3/4. The ending was just a little bit weird. But I did like it. It was a lot more adult and a lot more funny than I thought it would be, but it was so good. Definitely worth checking out. If you kind of like romance films but you aren't a big chick flicker, then maybe that's one to look at as well, and it's just so worth watching. I think it's so underrated as well. Not a lot of people are talking about it, or at least I don't think so. So yeah, definitely go and see it. These aren't by any means artistic films, films that are going to get awards, but two films I loved last year were Captain America the Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. I am a big Marvel fangirl. I love comic book films, superhero films. I've been brought up on them. My dad loves that kind of stuff, so I go and see every single one, and I loved them to bits. Both very different. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy is much more comedic, a lot more fun and just easy watching. Captain America is a lot more like a spy thriller. It's kind of espionage stuff. Really great though. Both brilliant in their own right, and I can't wait for Avengers this year. I'm just gonna love it so much. Books wise, I read some really great books last year. The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb was a great book and something that I don't normally read. Fantasy isn't really my genre at all, but I love this one and I can't wait to continue the series. Sometime maybe when I finish uni or something like that, I'm going to I buy the rest of the series and hopefully read through it. Another book that I want to mention is Roses by YouTuber Rose Mandarin. I feel like I just keep banging on about this book, but I loved it so much, and not even the fact that it was a YouTuber. I think it was just a genuinely well written, well structured book with great character development, and I loved it. I love fairy tale retellings anyway, and it was just a really great novel in its own right. I feel like I can't say this enough. Please go on Amazon and stuff and just look at the you know, description of it and see if you like the look of it, because it is fantastic. It's really great, and it's a really well written book, and the author is so lovely as well, so yes. Another book I read, and I think it was the first book I read of January, was Levels of Life by Julian Barnes. I loved it so much. I did actually do a review of that, so please go and check that out. It was a non-fiction memoir of his experience with photography, and also kind of travelling, air ballooning, and also the death of his wife. And it's a great essay that looks into mortality and what humans do when it comes to death and acceptance of death and things like that. And it sounds, you know, really depressing, and it is really depressing, but it's such a good book, and so short and so easy to read, but it's just so emotional, and just some of the things he says about life and, you know, things are just so poetic and beautifully written, just really worth checking out. I also read The Hours by Michael Cunningham, which I loved. It is a little bit of a book kind of about Virginia Woolf and Mrs. Dalloway and all that kind of thing. Really, really great. I know there's a film version of it as well, which I haven't seen, but the book was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. The way that the characters are all kind of different in their own right in different time periods, but also so similar and so intertwined. It was just really well done, and I loved it. The last book I need to mention is The Head of the Saint, and I absolutely adored this book. It's set in South America, which is a place that I'm becoming more and more obsessed with. South America and Iceland are the two places that I'm just loving right now, and it was really, really great. Kind of elements of magical realism and stuff in there. You know, the character was brilliant, a brilliant protagonist, and I love the adventure that he went on. I love the kind of culture of it all, and it's so fantastic. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, and again, I didn't ever get a review of it up, which I am going to try and work on this year. But yeah, I loved it a lot, and I will leave a link to it somewhere below so you can go and check out the description. So that's my favourites video for the year. Book-wise, it was a bit of a fail last year, and I feel like film-wise it was very much a success, so hopefully this year books will be just as good. I am finishing uni this year, so I'm hoping tail end of this year I'll get a lot of reading done that I personally want to do as opposed to uni reading, so that's lovely. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what your favourites are down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!